So we are officially broadcasting, and today is a sort of complaint day because we noticed that we have put up a lot of videos, but not only are very few people watching, but if you look at the sequence of the videos, from the first to the last, there's a constantly decreasing stream of views. Not only that, but if you look at the analytics, most people are viewing for 10, maximum 15 minutes. So all of my lectures that last 1 hour, no one's ever getting to the end, which is good enough because, I mean, that's just fine, because maybe I'm just talking bullshit, but the fact that they would then like it without even having watched it all is extremely suspicious. What do you think, Katie?
I think it's incredibly suspicious. I think they're just watching a few minutes. I mean, these people actually sit through the videos on our personal channels and don't seem to have a problem. And you make very long personal videos for your channel.
No, but also I watched those as well, and it's the same story. No one's
It's
watching
the
past
same
a
thing.
minute. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
how can you like something when you don't even know what you're watching? 15 minutes is not much out of an hour.
I think few people know what they're watching or seeing or doing, and their likes and dislikes sort of emerge randomly.
I think so too. And I also think that they overlike everything. I mean, I barely like anything. I don't go around giving people free likes.
I
And I know
know.
you
But
don't either.
don't you hate when people invite you to like something? What does that even mean?
I don't know. It's creepy though. It's like, please pat me on the back. I need it because I'm somehow
That's
emotionally
right.
retarded.
Exactly.
Like
Please
they're
like
over
my
30. They're over 30 and they still need like back pats like they're a toddler.
but they are toddlers, and I think we're getting to the core of the matter quickly here. I mean, people are children.
Yeah, they really are. They have the mind of children even if they have an adult's body.
That's exactly right. And that is why you can't talk to them like they're adults. It's like if you show up in a third grade class and say, "Hello, today we're going to talk about the financial system. So here's a put option and this and that." And who gives a shit? They just want to draw shit and go out and play in the mud. They don't want to hear about adult stuff. And if they do listen, after 10 minutes, they're going to space out. Their attention span is 10 minutes, regardless of age.
I think that's very accurate. It's certainly reflective of my real life too. I actually live in a place where we've had avalanche warnings, and yet all of these people keep coming up here to see snow, and they park in the road, and some of them actually got hit in the road because they walk in the middle of the road, and they don't seem to understand what danger is or what risks are, and they just walk around like they don't even have a brain.
Well, they haven't even watched Karate Kid because I remember Mr. Miyagi was saying, if you want to learn karate, it's good. If you don't want to learn karate, it's good. But if you stand in the middle, you'll get squeezed like a grape, something like that.
Exactly.
Whereas they
Well,
just
they
so listen to Mr. Miyagi, bitches.
I don't know, isn't it just natural selection?
It is. So at least in that respect, there's some kind of a justice. I wish
Yeah.
people who watch 10 minutes of my shit would get run over by an avalanche.
Or a car.
I know it's mean to say, but like, okay, if they watch the first video and after 10 minutes they're like, who the hell is this idiot, and click away, that's fine. But if they consistently watch 10 minutes of everything, that just doesn't make sense.
Well, they have to watch those 10 minutes in order to leave a very unthinking comment and insult you in some way.
Sometimes the best insult is a compliment paid by somebody who evidently didn't understand what you were talking about.
Well, that falls under the whole being gifted thing too, where people are like, "Oh, I understand your plight. I'm like that too," except they're really stupid and they can't possibly understand.
There's an episode of Judge Judy when this guy's in front of the judge and she's already sized him up as a crook. And so she asks him, "So what are you on disability for?" And he says, "My back." And she tells him, "Of course, it has to be something that you can't see." And I think people who pretend to be gifted are sort of the same type of people. They can pretend to be beautiful or pretend to be strong or pretend to be something that is visible, but they will just pretend to be something that you can't really see. And that's why these gifted groups are full of people. Full of people who have a problem with people speaking honestly, by the way. So I'm getting banned from all of them, but that's great. They don't waste my time.
Well,
Gifted.
I don't think it's a yeah, I don't think it's bad to be banned from all of the gifted groups because from what I've seen, it's pretty much full of people over the age of 70. And also like people that are talking about the most mundane, retarded things
Yeah.
that they could just go to any group and talk to people about it. There's nothing that is special about talking about TV shows or I'm gifted in this way, but it's something completely normal.
Well, I told you about this bitch who was saying, "Oh, I like to watch movies over and over and over, even after I've already watched them. I guess that's a gifted thing." Yeah, sure. Addiction to passive entertainment and watching the same fucking movie several times is a sure sign of genius.
Oh my God. What a waste of time.
Well, yesterday there was this guy saying, "Okay, so I had a lucid dream and I was surrounded by wolves. What does it mean? Anybody knows what the wolves mean?" So I told him, "Yes, it's notoriously a symbol for the glans penis. So you're evidently going gay." And I got banned because of that. Like, come on, you're an adult. Do you really need to be asking these fucking questions?
Why do they think that's appropriate for a gifted group anyways? If they're gifted, shouldn't they know who would have that information?
But I think it's highly offensive to make a joke, and so that's not cool. I think humanity is headed into very dark times of tyranny because the nonchalance and just passive abandon with which they resort to censorship whenever they have some kind of control over any group, like for example on Facebook, that just tells you just how much tolerance and just how little of a problem they see with people not being able to speak.
Well, they're too immature to handle people that have differing opinions.
Yeah. Or even making jokes,
Yeah, well,
because
nothing's funny.
Going, that's not cool. We have to all support each other. You should have told him that the wolves mean. I should have said something stupid. That would have been welcomed with open arms. But today we wanted to complain about our viewers in particular, whereas we're getting derailed complaining about people in general.
We often do.
So I think the problem is with us because why is the problem with us? You finished that sentence for me.
Well, I think part of the problem with us is that we know that what we're saying works because we both have businesses and we know that it works. And then we see these people who are basically interested in what we're talking about, or they say that we are, or that they are, and they really aren't. They seem to be interested in entertainment. And we're not trying to be entertaining. We're trying to provide information that is factual and helpful, that should give them shortcuts to having a successful business. And they don't seem to want to have a successful business or a successful life. They just want to sit in front of YouTube and watch it.
I agree with that. Hey, Joanna is online. Hi, Joanna.
Hello.
We're just complaining about
Hi, Joanna.
Programmed.
Hello. Hi.
And I actually shaved today, but unfortunately my webcam is not working. So you're all gonna just have to believe me that I shaved for the first time in months. So I think people sit in front of YouTube in the same way that they sit in front of the TV. YouTube is TV, and the people don't generally turn on the TV after work because they want to learn something and make an effort.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And so if you look at...
well, I mean, when you look at...
Go ahead.
When you look at whatever videos are popular that have millions and millions of hits, it's either just entertainment or it's something like makeup videos or hair videos or how to humiliate yourself by picking up women with these tips that won't work. Or how to pack your suitcase. Like all of those kinds of things people are really into watching. They'll
So the
watch
reason I
anything.
say that the problem is with us is because we operate from the presupposition of cooperation, where now we just take these valuable things that we've learned and we just give them to others, and then we make friends. And that's exactly the kind of naive shit that goes on when you have people with autism or Asperger's who just want to make friends at school. But the other place is war. So this ignorance or unwillingness to accept that there's war going on is our vulnerability. And if you look at people that have big YouTube channels, there's a conduit by which resources like time, energy, money flow from people with short-term time horizons to people with long-term time horizons. And so like the person that has a long-term time horizon thinks, okay, so how do we get the views? And getting the views is the point. Not creating valuable content. Getting the views is the point. And to get the views, they make things that are really entertaining, and they explain very simple concepts in very colorful terms, and they cut the scene every 5 seconds so that people don't get the bad impression that there's somebody actually talking they have to listen to. But it's all about stealing from them, because stupid people need to get the things that they have taken from them until they have nothing left at all. And that's how history works, how everything works. And so yeah, I wasn't in energy mode for complaining, but now you got me started, so here we go.
Well, so basically YouTube is an easy way to get a very large ship together and go in and raid stupid people. I mean, that's the modern equivalent. It's just you don't kill them
rape
now.
stupid people. When you go to the mall, that stuff useful? That's raping stupid people. Look, shiny. Okay, now give me your money. Now fuck off. Take this worthless piece of junk made of plastic. Take it home. Get bored with it tomorrow. And please, come back tomorrow so I can sell you another one. Everything is that. Joanna, you have the floor. Make the best complaint that you can.
Yeah, I'm thinking how to do it.
You're thinking how to do it.
Yeah, I'm thinking how to do it. Yeah, thinking, I mean, basically YouTube from the beginning wasn't designed for smart things. It was entertainment, basically, so.
Okay, but like, so for example, how much entertainment can you get if you can just free yourself so that you can have a little bit of passive income, or if you can have a job that you like, which becomes your entertainment? A lot, right? So
Yeah,
their problem is
but before I do it, I need to work. I need to do something which is not that entertainment.
right. So that's the big problem, that they have to do something.
Yes.
So doing something seems to be the sort of a showstopper. Like, you mean I have to do something? Are you kidding me? I click on this shit. I was waiting for my buffoons dancing entertainment. And no, turns out you have to do something. But it's not like these people are going out and, you know, putting 1,000 flyers a day on the cars and stopping at 300 because their feet hurt and they had to come back home. No, they won't even just sit down and finish listening to the thing, which they can download as an MP3, or play in their car, or play whether do their homework or while they take a shit. Even that is too much of an imposition. That's what you got to take from them. You can give them things. If you observe how this works now firsthand on your channel, you really see why the world is set up the way that it is, and why TV is set up the way that it is. Why it's only stupid shit on TV. You see, if you don't put stupid shit, who watches it? 4 cats.
Well, it sounds like we should be in the business of making like cuddly puppy videos and cuddly cat videos.
Well, Joanna's got a cat right
like,
now. Why don't you show the cat, Joanna?
Yeah,
I know.
We can get the view count up.
So that
We should put it on.
The cat, we have more viewers now.
Put the cat again so we can get some views.
Yes, yes. I can hold the cat again if you want. So
So the question is what to do, because of course we get bored if we see that no one's following or that they're posting, oh, wonderful video, but you only watched 10 minutes. Now, to be entirely fair, we don't know if people watch 15 minutes and then they watch another 15 minutes tomorrow, if that even gets resumed so that it will then show half an hour, or if that counts as 2 people viewing 15 minutes. I don't know how that works, how YouTube is tracking it. But the fact that there isn't even one person who's viewing an entire video, at least according to the analytics, I think if things continue to go this way, we won't continue for very long, because it's just too boring. And like 90% of the talking that I'm doing, I'm just talking to myself, which is fine. I'm a great listener, but anyway, I don't need to edit.
Well, I've noticed the same. Well, I've noticed the same trend even on my personal channel, where I discuss like some of the same topics, like the Outsider series that I've done for us. I've talked some about on my personal channel, and people are mostly like, they're just looking for entertainment. But to me, like, that kind of information is valuable for people who are gifted or who live on the outside of society and don't really want to live in the midst of it. It's one of those things that's key to survival, but what I view as survival, they view as just like entertainment. And to me, that's just crazy.
So like we started saying, they're children. So to children, there's only entertainment. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Because they have no agency. The only pleasure they're going to get in life is by entertainment. And that to them, it doesn't exist. And now you make an effort and you make something, and then after you enjoy it. They probably never had that experience unless they got forced in school or something.
And we've also gotten a bunch of crazy people, too, that have emailed us that are students.
Yeah. It seems so, like when you start talking about
we're not really attracting the best students either.
Yeah, but I think I figured out how that works, is that just the fact that you're introspecting attracts people that have a very high degree of neuroticism, who also confabulate a lot. Now, there's a very different, it's very different if you're thinking rationally and analyzing things versus if you're just in paranoia. But they can't really see the difference. So we just attract people with high neuroticism that like to hear somebody else also talk and think. But they don't get the point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I find in one of my videos that I said something the opposite way than I should have, and no one ever points that out. Nobody says, hey, at 16 minutes you said this, I think you wanted to say the opposite. So they're not even listening, they're just listening to my voice.
But
maybe they think you have a pleasing voice and that's all they need to hear.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Kiss My Ass University, where you kiss our ass, because we don't need your fucking views. So unsubscribe right now, unlike, unsubscribe, and please do not reshare. How long have we been recording?
Since like August or September, I think.
No, I mean now. How long ago did we start? This thing doesn't even give me a timer.
Oh.
Has it been 15
about
minutes?
25 minutes, I think.
25. Well, so there's no one watching right now. We can say whatever we want. That's it. They've all tuned out.
Was anyone watching at the beginning?
All right, my credit card number is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No one will ever hear this.
Now somebody might watch the beginning and the end of the video. So they might get that.
Fuckers, they just want to get the ending, huh?
Yes, they might.
I just want to see how it ends. Well, the killer was Joanna all along. The criminal, the murderer.
Why?
If it's a
I love
detective
that.
story,
Huh?
just to
What?
give them the ending of the detective story. If they skip to
Ah,
the
okay.
end,
Yeah, it's all my fault. Well, I like it.
it's all your fault, but the cat helped you out.
Yes.
So the question is how to move forward, because we want to invest our time in the most beneficial way, and teaching people how to live outside of society is not how we live outside of society, and like many of these fucking idiots coaches.
I mean, first of all, we need to get more viewers. So to reach more people, I think anyway we should put something that attracts more people. There is no other way.
Okay, well, I don't have boobs, so you two girls can help out here. Take one for the team. Silence.
Silence.
Katie?
Well, I missed part of it. What was the suggestion? What was the suggestion?
Well,
I missed part of it. I had
What's
some
the-
breakup.
we need to upload content that will attract more people. So I just said I'm not the one with the boobs. So if you girls want to take one for the team.
I mean, I have the
But
cat,
I
so
mean,
it's
basically
not
any content that would hit at the sweet spot of normal, that would hit with normal people would pretty much be kind of what we're not after, because I don't think that normal average people can have a successful business without a lot of determination and trying, a lot of failure. They would have to be incredibly resilient because they're dumb, so they can't see a lot of things in their path.
Hmm. Yeah. But let's not think about constructive things. We just wanted to complain about them today. Enough constructive criticism here. It's not the purpose for today.
Well, I mean, from what I've seen, most of the people have. So I posted all of these videos about cognitive biases on through the trading videos. And basically, like, they're great for trading because you need to do those things. But at the same time, they really apply to everything. But I noticed that all of the people who email us and want advice, or they want to tell us about their business plan, are all basically suffering from most of the cognitive biases that I've listed. And also, like, they haven't gotten rid of them, or clearly they haven't made any strides at getting rid of them. I mean, it's so pointless. They're just balls of cognitive biases and problems and delusional thinking, and some of them are just crazy.
And well, you've described humanity right there in a very, very nice.
Right, I know.
Balls of cognitive biases, and some are crazy. It's a very good way to put it.
They're just animated hot dogs at this point.
Yeah.
animated hot dogs. What is animated hot dog?
It's like a hot dog that's moving.
Okay. Like in the animation, yes. Like in the cartoon.
Yeah. So, I mean, the whole undertaking from the beginning is a little bit naive, because the things that I'm talking about are the things that were my cognitive biases. Starting from a condition of having systematically destroyed all my cognitive biases since I was ever able to speak and think. And still I ended up with those cognitive biases at a fairly advanced age of 30 or 30 something, right? And so those are the ones that I am attacking. And to think that that's going to be useful to most people is like, I don't know, for a fitness channel that tells you some particular exercises to train maybe the one very small, narrow fiber of muscles in your pec that never gets trained because like put on the inside. And these people are just all obese and they never stand up on the couch. So it's, I think to some extent, it's just too high level to be of general consumption. And people want to experience positive emotions. So what they flock to is the scam, is some guy telling them, hey, I made $3,000 sitting at my desk and stuffing envelopes. And it doesn't matter that they then make $0 out of that scheme, because at least they experienced the fantasy and they paid for that, and that's fine with them. They don't complain. So basically they're attracted to everything that is fake because they don't really know. I mean, that is the one thing about stupidity that destroys you, is the inability to recognize what has value and what doesn't. And then you squander your life following bullshit.
Well, that's why they click on things that are like, make $1 million by tomorrow. No experience or knowledge needed.
Yeah, no brain required.
No brain required, because that's realistic. That's going to happen.
Hey, my brother Bilo is retarded. He made 1 million. It's a Kazakh money. I don't even know. And the problem with the neurotypical brain is that it's all about people. So they need to see faces. And if you look at the popular videos, they all have thumbnails with over-exaggerated facial expressions. They also fall for the life hacks bullshit, you know, life hacks, and then he's got like, I don't know, a knife sticking out of the toilet paper roll with the lighter inside. And so everybody clicks on that, like 5 million views. I want to see what you can do with the toilet paper with a knife sticking out. You can stab yourself in the anus. That's what you can do. Probably should too.
Well, people are also into stuff that they won't even use. So, like, there's a guy, I like his videos actually. It's Crazy Russian Hacker, but he teaches people how to pick locks, which I've actually used the knowledge I learned there. But most people aren't going to pick a lock. This is like never a skill that they're going to need or want or use in any way. But yet they watch these videos for these things that they'll never do, like just all kinds of stuff. It's like the life hacks you're talking about. I mean, they're never going to use them.
I need to learn how to pick locks and make a note.
It's actually a very good skill.
So I think we should appeal to the people that are following to, first of all, stop doing anything. I mean, if you're not going to do anything, you know, there's a lot of better entertainment on YouTube. I think as far as entertainment, we're not competitive here. We don't have time to edit the video. I don't spend time trying to make it entertaining. Or at least I don't anymore. And that's it. So just go somewhere else. But if they're going to follow, we need progress report. We need to know how you're using the information. If you're not watching past the 15th minute, what the fuck are you doing? Because, you know, when I start talking about things, I don't think that I'm rambling on. I'm giving important details without which the rest is incomplete and not useful.
I think so too. I mean, what you provide is not rambling. For mine, my videos are shorter, but I think most people are just like, oh, I have no interest in trading, therefore I won't even see what the relevance of this is. Or maybe they're like, oh, I don't need business psychology. I'm all good.
I don't know, but like
Except
if they're not
interested
in trading, fine. We're publishing a bunch of things on different aspects, from trading to now I published a video on patents. I published another one on how to think about technology for your business.
Yeah, but in the beginning we had only psychology. So even for me, in the beginning, I thought that I don't need business psychology at all. and what I need is a good idea. So I think it's natural.
I think
Yeah,
part
but
of that is also that people don't understand what they need, because anybody who started a company, like you and I can generate a ton of ideas. I could come up with 100 ideas by the end of today to start 100 different companies. And a lot of times I give away my ideas to people just so I don't have them in my head anymore. But the issue is not that there's a lack of ideas out there. The issue is that there are all these psychological barriers that people put up in front of themselves that don't allow them to succeed. Like thinking about some of the people that we've gotten messages from, they have these business plans that will never work. They're too elaborate. They go on for 40 years, or they have no knowledge in the area that they want to start a business in, or they think that you need all of these advanced degrees. I mean, basically they're talking about having a career in some whole other field before they even start their own business, like 50 years away. I mean, that's just stupid. Like the ideas are vague. They don't have any specific ideas. They don't know what they want to do. Mostly they like the idea of having a business, and they don't understand the reality of it.
Yeah, there should be a word for people who like to play with an idea without actually doing it. Like bystanders, or...
You mean INTP?
Yeah, that's the word. Sort of.
That's like the only group of people I can think of that like entertain ideas to the end but never follow through with them at all.
But they seem to be satisfied with it. So as long as you're self-conscious that you just get pleasure from exploring possibilities and you don't want to actually do them, and you're fine with that, that's great. But I think a lot of people don't really know. They haven't closed the loop between what they want and what they're trying to get. I think they have a problem wanting things as well, because when you really want things, you'll start moving one way or the other. And if you're sitting on an idea for too long, most likely it's about you not wanting it enough. So the point is, I think, if anybody serious is following us and not commenting anything, because there's that possibility as well, that if people want to actually do something, they don't see it relevant to comment or to write or anything, right? You should probably, if you want to see more lessons, you should help us to paste links somewhere and advertise so we can see some results from this channel, because, again, telling you how to tell the world to kiss your ass is not how we tell the world to kiss our ass, and so our time is limited, and we can't daze you with the special effects or post 2,000 videos. For us, it's more convenient to just make a 1-hour video and post it, and then we do another one next month, and to go on like that. At least for me, it's convenient that way. Can't post videos daily that last for 15 minutes, so just so that people think, okay, another... I mean, to give like a kind of addiction to videos is much better to have them short, post them frequently, so that the first thing you do in the morning is you say, oh, let's see what new thing, you know, before you go to work. But that's, again, we're in the realm of entertainment. It's about standards as well, because maybe people are already satisfied like that, and who are we to say that no, you shouldn't be satisfied with entertainment? You should do things for real. If they're already happy with that, we're the unlucky ones that we need to do actual shit to feel anything.
Well, at this point, I don't hold out a lot of hope, because these people are just reconfirming what I was thinking already, which is basically that humanity is just a substrate for bacteria. So I'm not sure how much we should get our hopes up that they're going to do anything.
Joanna, what do you think?
Well,
Is there any other purpose to humans other than hosting bacteria?
Biologically, no, I think.
Biologically, no. I mean, look, okay, so Katie and I are hardcore survivors who have many, many problems dealing with people, and we just ejected a long time ago. Joanna is a girl in her 20s, early 20s, who is starting a business with us, and she's working 5 part-time jobs as well because she quit one, as it was 6 before. And now she's not only following...
Today I lost another one, so...
You lost another one. Shit, you only have 4 jobs now.
I will look for the next one later.
Oh, wow.
Get back to 5. 5 is a minimum. So you're actually trying something at least, you know? So what's going through your head? Why did you decide to try something instead of doing nothing?
I mean, first of all, I always thought I would like to have my own business, but I never knew how could I do it, how to start, and so on. So if I don't know, if I have some source that can help me to do it, I mean, it's all I should do. Because, I mean, that's how I am. Before, I always knew I preferred to work than to study longer in university. But rather than having full-time job, I prefer to be a freelancer. But rather than being freelancer, it's better to have own business. I mean, I just like being independent, not being dependent on a company I'm working for.
Do you think that your friends and people your age are not like you?
Not in my age. Everybody I know, it's like you said something, everybody says when they study that I would like to have my own business, but they all end up in full-time jobs.
They end up like it's a hole in the ground and they just fall in.
Yeah, but anyway, it's better paid, so you will have more security and you will have more money in this way. From what I was doing, being a freelancer, I wasn't getting a lot of money, but I had the flexibility, which is more important for me. So, but if I could have my own business and have money from that, that would be the best. So basically, it's something that is important for me, but it also comes from my personality, so I don't know about the other people.
So I don't see any solution, because I remember the first times when I told people about cryonic suspension, and I was sure that if they just heard about this thing, who's going to want to die instead of getting into the future? Nobody. So I was sure that this poorly advertised amazing thing, once I started telling people about it, that I'd be signing up hundreds of people. Maybe I should get some percentage on the memberships. And then in a whole lifetime, never one person hearing these things ever signed up with Alchor, ever. That was a big mind fuck, because I just cannot conceive somebody who prefers to die than get into a future with high technology society. And now it's the same thing. When I was having to work in a company, I remember just the utter gloom and despair of going into these anonymous buildings with air con, with people telling you what to do, having to wake up early in the morning, getting out when the sun was already down, like they ate my day, they stole my day. I remember that utter despair and sadness and just a fierce drive to get out of it at any cost. I did try crazy things to get out. And just to discover that other people don't care. For them, it's okay. I thought there was this huge slavery system that was oppressing people and taking their life away from them. And now I realize it was just me. And other people are just fine with that.
Well, that's why there was a system that had serfs. I mean, they don't see themselves as serfs now, but they are. That's what an office is. It makes you into a serf.
With kings and people building the pyramid in Egypt, if people weren't like this, it'd be fuck you. I'm not gonna build no pyramid. Bring your own motherfucking stones. But people act like that. They're okay with it. And so they're there at the supermarket asking you paper or plastic. You have the point card every single day of their life.
I mean, they complain about that, so they're not totally okay.
Well, that's just to confuse you that they complain, because then
But
you
they
go
live
there,
that way and they don't change anything.
well, then you go there and
Yeah,
give them
but
the solution, and what do? Nothing.
yeah, but most of people, they don't think. I mean, they don't believe there is other way of living. And if you tell them, they will not believe you. Because okay, you succeeded and live in a different way, but maybe it's because you have something that they don't have.
Yeah,
So
brain. They're right.
But that's that's why I think it's not a lack of ideas, because you and I could hand out ideas to people all day and they would still do nothing. It's an issue of cognitive biases, and they have to be willing to fix those on their own. You can't drill into people like, these are the things that are clearly wrong with you. You should go fix them, then you can have a happy life. I mean, they have to see it for themselves, and then they have to seek out the information to correct those issues. And I just don't think that there's a desire to correct it, because then they would have to be responsible for their lives.
So I realized this actually very early on, that when I said I want something and when they said they want something, it was very, very different, because I realized no one ever did anything. And so when they say want, that's kind of misleading. And you shouldn't listen to them, and that want means nothing. Want means there's a fantasy going through my head right now, which is going to be gone in 2 or 3 seconds, where I'm thinking about that thing. And now what's more important is what's for dinner.
I think when they say want, they mostly just mean, if it falls into my lap without me having to do anything, then I'll be satisfied with that.
Yeah. So I think if we were already very powerful AIs with the power to analyze people's neural circuitry and see what's going on inside their minds, this would be not so confusing to us, because we would quickly locate the various parts of the brain and how they're intercommunicating. And when they're saying, I want something or that, there's some connection there missing, where that desire cannot affect their behavior, or there's some fail-safe switch to make them save energy that gets triggered, or some genetic switch that gets expressed massively that perhaps we lack. And we'd see them as evidently incapable of doing that. Just like when you see a person who has physical handicaps, you don't think that they're lazy because they don't do decathlon. It's just that they can't, that they don't have it. They're not functioning that well. And so the confusion is always because you can't see how people's minds work. And so you've got this magic illusion that if they just wanted, they could do, think, be, and feel anything that they pleased. Whereas I think they can't. Because if they could, they would.
I mean, maybe the point
Well,
is
maybe
that
it's a
they
difference
don't.
in trauma. Trauma.
They need more trauma, and that's why we're giving them trauma right now. Motherfuckers, you worthless pieces of scum. Watch the 16th fucking minute. I'm giving out credit card numbers on the 16th minute. That's all right. We have boobies coming up at the 17th minute, and you're missing that shit. Is that right, Yana?
Yes. And maybe the cat will come also. So
Everything cool. I mean, this channel is just to sort out the people who can watch past the 15th minute. So that's me talking about some stupid bullshit for 15 minutes, just to weed out those that aren't serious. And then on the 16th minute, the goodies, the circus starts. What were you going to say, Yana?
what are you gonna say? If the circus started in 16 minutes, somebody would write it in the comments. And people would be going to 16th minute from the beginning.
No, because
So
we
it would
told
be
them,
fair.
hey, don't tell everybody that there's a funny thing at the 16th minute, because otherwise they'll just skip. They're all in on the deal.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
but
just need
also,
more trauma. I mean, at this point,
I think so. I mean, I think trauma changes your
I don't know what else would wake them up.
and motivates you to invest more, because the mind and the body, they go like, holy shit, this is dangerous, and if we don't do anything, things are not going to be good.
yeah, but beside trauma, there is more normal thing. The thing you told in the video that they don't know personally anybody doing that. So they just don't believe it can work because it's too abstract for them.
Right, that's the sensory grounding, but once somebody's explaining to you that that's how your mind works and that prevents you from doing things just because you haven't seen anybody do it.
Yeah, but there
And
are
then
many people explaining many things on YouTube. So how can they know that the thing you explain are right?
How do they know that the things explained are right? Well, in my case, there are many things. Almost everything that I wanted it so badly that I took risks. And I said, all right, maybe I do it and it doesn't work. But if I don't do it and I don't get it, I'm a fucking idiot. And so eventually I tried shit and most of it didn't work. But eventually I found something that works. So I think they just don't want it enough. If they cannot risk failure, then they're already happy the way they are with their job and their boss and waking up early in the morning and going home at night when the day has already finished. And we can't change that, and we shouldn't want to change that. That's how they are. So we need to focus on people that aren't happy with that. But here I see another problem, that the people that aren't happy with that are probably already trying some stuff. Maybe they're hearing us saying these things, and they said, of course. You're just saying things that are... So that's why I don't see much value in teaching to begin with, because it's the people that are going to absorb that teaching, that can really give it the proper value, are people who learn it already. There's a very narrow window where you can teach something. Like you can teach people like the one step beyond where they are. That's it. Everything else you can't. So teaching is overrated. Unless you force them. If you can have power like a teacher over a child, you got to sit here and listen. But even then, it doesn't really work because they get out of school and they can even add 2 + 2.
Well, a lot of it is also that a good teacher has a very hard time getting people to see through their eyes, but I've only encountered maybe like 1 or 2 people that actually said that when I was teaching them something, they weren't trying to look at the world through their own eyes. They were trying to look at the world through my eyes in the way that I see something, and then pull the information from that. And they actually learned a lot. But it seems like most people seem to think that knowledge exists without coming through a certain lens. That when they're being taught something, it's the right way, as though there's like one right way to do everything, instead of this worked for this person because they possess these traits and they had these experiences, and to pull from that what you can based on like what you know about the person and like what they're trying to convey. Does that make sense?
Yes, and well, I'm willing to concede that the experience of having to learn something might be traumatic for them, because there's no denying it. We've got a brain that's predisposed for learning things, is what we do, and so I imagine that it's sort of like if I go to some fucking training camp to do something that I hate to do, I've never done before, I'm not particularly enthusiastic about, like some fucking terrorist training camp, and they're teaching me things that I think are going to hurt, and I don't want to do it to begin with, and I guess my terrorism instructor would complain about me. He has very low motivation to blow himself up. I don't understand why. When he has to crawl in the mud with the stones, he seems not terribly enthusiastic. I probably flunked that class.
So I think part of the issue is that the sort of people who would watch our videos, it seems like, at least a lot of them, don't have the inclination to go out and obtain information, because it's really only, well, not only, but there are a lot of crazy people who've emailed us, mostly asking about what's the significance of numbers in the videos, and saying they had like visions about us and before they kill themselves or whatever. I mean, it's insane. I don't even know what it has to do with.
What's that?
Because we call that Kiss My Ass University.
We didn't call it Kiss My Ass and Be Crazy, though.
I think they were looking for.
What might they think? So.
Maybe they were just looking for college-age female students with ass, and that's how they looked for a university ass, and they found us, and so they were looking for something different.
So basically, like Kiss My Ass University, it sounds like, you know, like the channel for some rebels, like people who want to go against the society and so on and so on. But if it doesn't go with anything else, I don't know how to explain that. For example, the teenagers at school, like in the high school, who want to rebel against everything, but they don't have any idea what to do instead. So it might be attracting this kind of people.
Well, you gotta have some financial independence before you go against society. You gotta get free from it. So I guess this is the first step. The part where we blow shit up is like, you know, in the advanced classes. We just want to make sure you have some money to buy that explosive.
But I think part of this, I think part of the issue really boils down to culture. I mean, I think in Western culture, you're basically told now, if you go to college and you get a degree, then you will be successful. And so these people don't think they need this information.
But people are realizing that that's bullshit. It's all over the news nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah, but but they still are having trouble breaking from the idea that you have to go to college to be successful. And people are still getting these stupid degrees like MBAs and business degrees and stuff like that. And I want the person who's making my coffee to have knowledge of coffee. I don't need them to have a philosophy degree. But that's basically where you're heading now with a business degree or a philosophy degree. You're going to work at Starbucks.
I think people who work at Starbucks today do have a bunch of degrees because they can't find any other occupation. And, you know, a degree doesn't make you useful is the problem.
Yeah.
Because we're moving from an industrial society where everybody had to be a little cog in the machine to now people need to deliver ready-made, ready-packaged value. If I pay somebody, I want something done. I don't want to just sit there. I want a website that works, or I want a task completed. And I think school was not meant for that. In fact, there's uncontroversial evidence that it was precisely thought to be the other way around, to prepare people to work in the factories and in assembly line.
Well, I also think when it comes to school, I think a lot of students don't understand how they're supposed to use college anyways. There's a huge disconnect between students and professors. So most professors are not paid to teach you. They're paid to do research, paid to teach students anything. That's not where their salary is coming from. And I can say that all the professors that I've known, I was married to one, use the materials they developed in graduate school and never change them. They don't care. They don't care about students. They don't want to teach you anything. They're there to do research. That's why they were hired. The only way to get information from your professor is to go in during their office hours and talk to them. They think that you want to come and talk to them about their research. Otherwise, you're not going to learn anything.
The only reason I went to my professor to talk to her was because she was from China and she was quite hot. And that's the only time I went to see a professor. But she couldn't speak English, so we couldn't even communicate.
But isn't that the students also go to college not to learn something but to get a degree? So everybody are the same. That professors teach because not because
Yeah,
they
it's
want to do something, but because they need to. But also students, they go there because they want to get a degree. So if the students
like a
don't care,
charade where
also
everybody's
professors
pretending.
don't care. So it's like,
I agree with that. It's a circus. Everybody there is pretending.
yeah. I think in most of faculties, like everybody says that if you want to learn something, you should put your own effort, and you cannot just stick to the curriculum.
Well,
But
the
I
idea
don't know
that
about the
you go
engineers,
somewhere,
so maybe it's not.
but the idea that you go somewhere and somebody teaches you presupposes that learning is a passive thing that somebody does to you, which doesn't make any sense. And there's an internet now, so how obsolete is school now that there's an internet? There's even open courseware. You
Well-
can actually get the textbooks.
But school motivates you.
But also,
I
that also
And, you know,
takes in,
for any professor in school, you can find a guy that's more prepared, is smarter than your professor, and really loves what he's doing on YouTube.
Yeah, but the guy on YouTube will not give you tests, like to check your knowledge, and will
True.
not motivate you to learn for the tests, and that is what is important.
True, but if you really get inspired and like something, do you need tests? Maybe you just try shit because you see it and it looks fun, and then you do it, and then you can get good at it. I mean, the
Yeah,
purpose of the
I
test
think that
is
would work.
the purpose of the test
Well, I think
is
that works for,
who passes, who gets the paper. But then if the paper is useless anyway,
but I mean, part of the issue with that is that I know for me, I don't need a test because I don't require the validation of a teacher or my peers in order to know if I have an understanding of something. But most students want that. They want the grade, they want the back pat. Because they can't generate that internally. They can't say, you know, I actually understand this and I've mastered this and I'm ready to move on. They want the letter grade, they want the pat on the back, and they want acknowledgement from an authority. And I really think that that's something that you and I probably don't have. We don't trust authority. And when you've had a trauma, you don't trust authority. And I think most people readily trust authority. And that's probably one of the core issues that they have.
all right, well, we're gonna satisfy their desire right here, right now. I'm giving you all viewers an F. F for effort, F for not finding other viewers and sharing and linking, and F for fuck yourself. How's that?
I
I
don't
hope
know,
you do
but
better.
yeah, but maybe
That's
we should
pretty
give
good.
some-
I hope they do better next time.
but we could give them some tests, maybe. You know, tests from the knowledge of the video.
Okay, I give them a
And we
test.
put it online, and then they can check the score, how much they learned.
Let's see how many views they bring in the next 30 days. That's a test.
Okay, but they will not know about the test because it's in the end of this video.
Right, they haven't even, so if you go to school and you leave class and you don't know there's a test, you fail by definition, by default.
No,
I
but then
didn't know there was a test.
somebody else will tell you about the test. You will also always know somehow.
So here's how to pass Kiss My Ass University. You need to find somebody who watches the whole videos that can let you in on tests, assignments, and generally useful info. It's all absurd. I mean, you look at this video about the man who beat Pac-Man. Millions of views. Everybody on that.
But also the point is, I didn't watch that video, but the man who beat Pac-Man or whatever it is, I don't know what video it is. It's something that anybody can watch, but not but people who even think about starting business, it's like few. So you cannot compare these two things.
Okay, well, look what happens when you crush an anti-tank bullet with an air press. 6.8 million views. We are less popular than crushing a fucking bullet with a press. Talk about specific. We need more anti-tank bullets in our videos. That's the problem.
Apparently, maybe we need to start each video off with a different kind of explosive.
I think each video we can explode one of the students that stopped watching at 15 minutes.
That would be great. If we do the cruise thing, then we can throw someone overboard every day.
Well, we'll never get to the cruise thing at this rate because these people aren't even interacting. I mean, with the hours of talking that I did, you'd think that if they even listened to those 15 minutes, they'd have some fucking questions.
You think so, but we really only get emails from insane people.
Yeah, we attract high neuroticism. That's what speaking on YouTube selects for.
Yeah, but I think it was the same with your previous channel, so it was kind of expected. Because if most of the viewers came from your previous channel, that's why. So it's not, maybe it's not because of Kismajas University, it's because of your channel, Arturus.
Yeah, I mean, probably same crowd, people who listen to other people talk. Katie?
Yeah. I'm here.
I don't know, make a statement or silence.
Well, actually, it just occurred to me that maybe one reason why is because we attract highly neurotic and crazy people because those kind of people need a host to attach themselves to, and because they can't provide. And that's, in a weird way, that's really why we have such massive problems in society, is because we have so few providers and we have so many people who need providers. There's a huge imbalance. And when you start your own business, you're a provider, and maybe we're just attracting a bunch of leeches.
Well, but that's what I was saying in the beginning, that you're supposed to be at war with these leeches, not to try to improve them. You're supposed to take from them that which is theirs. And the way you do that is by catering to their vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and neuroses. So you do that by giving them bullshit videos that explain nothing with bullet points, special effects, and lying to them about that improving their lives. And they're just going to swallow those lies, pay you the $15.95 plus shipping and handling, and after the fact you've got more money and they're just where they started, and they will rinse and repeat until the day they die.
Which is basically how industrialization worked.
Yeah,
so I guess
get to this point.
And so we're not trying to take advantage of people, and so because of that we're getting nothing. Absolutely.
And when you ask, why are the politicians all corrupt? Why are the news biased? Why is TV always broadcasting bullshit? It's not the politicians' fault. It's not YouTube's fault. It's people's fault. It's the viewers. I have in a video who controls the world, and I explain very clearly. People's vulnerabilities, Joe Sixpack's cognitive biases control the world, which is just another fancy way of saying genes control the world, because genes are coding for those cognitive biases and weaknesses. And so what else do you expect? We got here through genes, and genes control the world. So basically, who are we? We are mutant genes that are making war against the much more widespread predominant genes of the general population. And we don't have a lot of weapon against them because they're just so numerous, and so we're here bitching. But times are changing. As soon as you get decently working AI, goodbye supermarket jobs, Goodbye sitting next to the copy machine jobs. Goodbye answering the phone jobs. I want to see these people on the streets, no fucking food. And you know why I want to see that? Not because I want to see them suffer. I want to see them improve themselves. I want them to have their margin of safety taken from them so that they're going to smarten the fuck up and then end up better than they were before. But until that gets taken from them, they don't have any incentive to improve, because bread and circus, watch a little thing on YouTube and that made their day.
But that's not even what's going to happen. I mean, there's already talk of basic income being guaranteed. So
Well,
they have no reason to smarten up. I mean, I know that, like, I know some people who've been saying, oh, well, it's going to be like Star Trek as soon as there's basic income. And I'm like, really? I don't think so, because I don't see any impetus to change and improve oneself.
Well, the thing with basic income is some countries have rejected that, and the reason they gave are quite intelligent. For example, Switzerland, right?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you make your life dependent on another, you lose all the skills to earn a living by yourself.
Exactly.
So when people become unnecessary and they get this income, now they're completely dependent on the state. They're not even going to learn a trade. They're not even going to bitch, I want a job, because they know they can't get a job because they can do nothing. And the next thing you know, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to take these things away from them as soon as they feel like it, and these people are going to be completely powerless.
They already are.
And isn't that just another example of what we've been saying, that you don't give people things, you take from them. But when you take from them, you take by giving the illusion that they're getting something. That's how it always works. Yes, take your $1,000 a month for free. Take. And they're like, yeah, nice, free money. And then the next thing you know, you get nothing. Now you march to the mass grave and shut the fuck up. Otherwise, we use the pain rays and the sound cannons and the rubber bullets and the tasers on you. What do you think is most effective, Joanna, when we need to march the free income people to the mass graves? Should we use the tasers, or should we use some kind of funny weapon like chewing gum guns?
Chewing gum guns.
That immobilize them.
Like the gun, we have bullets, which has bullets from chewing gum.
Mm-hmm. We should use dildo guns.
Oh yeah, that would be better. That would make more sense.
So what's the plan for the future? I think, first of all, if people are following this, they need to realize that because making these videos is not how we feed ourselves. These videos are in peril. They're here today, gone tomorrow, depending on how we feel about what we're doing, meaning that we need to get some kind of satisfaction. We're not charging for them, because what can we charge when they're not watching even for free? So, but if you want to see more of this stuff, better help out with either giving feedback or asking questions or bringing more people in, because it's a project in peril. And the reason it's in peril is because it shouldn't even exist. Like, it never exists. When do you ever get somebody who can do shit teaching you how to do shit? Unless it's some kind of, I feed you today to take everything tomorrow. Like, YouTube, happy-go-lucky YouTube hosts teaching you the most trivial common denominator of everything, not requiring any effort so that they can get the views. It's never existed. It's unsustainable. So. Amen.
All right. That was a good talk.
Yeah.
All right. You have anything to add, Joanna?
Not really.
What grade do you give to our viewers?
Like, if I was teaching till now, I would give no grade, because they didn't know there was any rules, and they didn't know there was any grades.
Mhm.
So I would say we'll be giving grades from the next time, based on the homework they do. That would be fair. Giving a grade now is not fair.
Okay, what is their homework then? Let's tell them very clearly.
Maybe write some feedback from the videos.
We don't want to, but we want them to do something with the information or unsubscribe and stop watching 15 minutes. I think. Is that what we want?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not of use to them, they should unsubscribe. Or if they think it would be of use to someone that they know but not them, then recommend the videos to someone else. But don't just watch for entertainment. That's stupid. Especially because if you're watching for entertainment, then you basically have every single cognitive bias that we talk about that you want to get rid of. And just stop using it as a entertainment channel.
Yeah, stop jacking off with our channel, please. It's not a vibrator. It's an actual channel. Even though it says ass in the title, you know, don't let that mislead you. All right, girls, I'm gonna stop this broadcast then. I don't know how long we've been recording, but I guess there's no one even listening by now, so. Unless this turns out to be the one video that everybody watches until the end. That's all they wanted from the beginning. They wanted to hear abuse and complaints.
Maybe they just wanted to be insulted.
They needed some tough love.
Or they were looking for a dom. Maybe we need to be nastier.
Well, I am extremely nasty. I think they haven't seen me yet. All right. I'll stop it here then. Thanks, girls.
All right.
Talk soon.
Thank you.
All right.